It was as if there were two kinds of people that used to work out. The old people that were not ready to die soon, or the bouncers that needed the muscle for their work. It takes 30 days for you to feel something. It takes 60 days for you to see something. It takes 90 days for the people around you to see something. The difference between a 70-year-old man that is bent and a 70-year-old man that is erect is your skeletal muscle. A lot of things that brought men into fitness was the sexual enhancement that comes with working out. Clients in Nigeria, up until recent time, really don't know what they want from trainers. They can't say who's a good trainer or not. And people's lives have been ruined. I grew up seeing my mom trying to shrink cancers with soursop and, mixing herbs for diabetes and hypertension and low sperm count and all those stuff.
So this is what 10 years of workout gives me?
No. 6 to 9 months can give you this.
It's good to see you, brother. Again today.
Yes,
again,
because I saw you at the gym. Right?
Yeah, I saw you at the gym. I think I've always wondered, for you to be this buff. Yeah, you're a buff guy. For you to be this buff, how long have you been working out?
Over a decade.
So this is what 10 years of workout gives me.
Well, no. This 6 to 9 months can give you this.
How?
So there's a difference between, training to achieve a result and training as part of your lifestyle. So if you train to achieve a certain result that is time-bound, you can do it. So I tell people, if you want to train to build muscles, it takes 30 days for you to feel something. It takes 60 days for you to see something. It takes 90 days for the people around you to see something if you do the right things. So you don't necessarily need to work out for 10 years, because in 10 years, I have been in different shapes and sizes, Life happens, you snap back out, you hold back on fitness. Some people had 10 years ago, I know people who were trying to lose weight with me 10 years ago. I have become a master trainer. They're still trying to lose weight 10 years after.
Oh.
So the time that you put into it does not really count. It's about what you do with the time that you have.
Yeah, but what people would, so if you're working, so the difference between working to achieve a result and making it a lifestyle, it's all mental. But how does that translate into the physical or the things you do? So take, for example, if you're working to achieve a result and you're working to make it a lifestyle, following those two different paths, how do they determine what you do, or why do they give you different results?
So let me explain the way I understand.
Okay.
A lot of people lost a lot of amount of money recently to a Ponzi scheme.
Does that make you lose weight?
So I'm coming. I'll let you understand. I'm driving somewhere.
Yeah.
And someone like me, I've never really believed in fast money. I know it works for some people.
Yeah.
Now, the guys that lost money because they tried getting fast money.
Yeah.
And there are other guys that have been consistently working, knowing that what they're trying to do is to be successful for the long run, for their family, for themselves. They have a bigger goal, right?
Yeah.
Now, the guys that are trying to do fast money is because maybe they are trying to show something fast in the moment, trying to buy one nice car, trying to build one nice house, maybe before December, to go back and shake the whole place during the Christmas, or there's this girl that you're just trying to get and you just need to get your money right. Now, people naturally can create the motivation that is needed to achieve something in the moment. But when it has to do with a sustained period of time, it's not now about motivation. It's more about discipline that, has to be followed by performance. So, yes, it's easier to set short
short-term goal,
and I try to achieve it. And you can do everything in that moment. You can diet. People do restrictive dieting. Some people get into the gym twice a day. Because it's easier to do that when the timing is short.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that when you are building it into your lifestyle. So yes, you can look and achieve a certain result if you throw in that amount of time to it. Some people stop after they've achieved, but some people now slow it down, meaning they've gone through a couple of learnings while trying to achieve that. They now slow it down, pace themselves, and enjoy the process. Maybe maintain a particular body size, but just come into the gym to walk around different other aspects of fitness that has nothing to do with, growing the muscles bigger. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's about for the guys who are the short-term goal guys, about achieving.
Yeah.
But for the lifestyle guys, it's more about becoming.
Becoming. Beautiful. That's the word. Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah. Because you see, the difference between a 70-year-old man that is bent and a 70-year-old man that is erect is your skeletal muscle. Yeah. While cardio is sweet and enjoyable to take you through every day because of the feel-good hormones that you get running on the treadmills and all, muscle building is for your old age. Because muscle are responsible for your entire posture. You sit, stand, stretch, walk, move, turn. The muscle is responsible for that. So muscle training, sustained muscle training, is you getting yourself ready for a beautiful old age.
With Nigeria, people, growing up, I didn't grow up into a society or grow up in a society that prioritized fitness. Yeah, there were PRA, physical education classes in school, but in the outer society, people always talked. I don't want to say people always talked cynically about the fit people. So they'll see a guy with a gym board, and they'll say, no, only muscle he can get. It was always derogatory, like, all this muscle, no money. So I think it was negative. I only joined fitness in my adult life, running, and then joined the gym, and I've been at it. But why? Why do you think we had that? Was it because we lacked the education, or it was a function of Nigeria's focus on survival? We're a survival country. Our culture code, everybody just tries to survive.
I think you can agree with me that we're still a survival country.
Yes, we are. But now there's more fitness. What changed?
So, largely the education. Because when we were growing up, it was as if there were two kinds of people that used to work out. The old people that were not ready to die soon, or the bouncers that needed the muscle for their work. That's how we used to look back then. Because I remember my mom and her group of friends, they would go and they have this thing called family health.
Yeah.
And they would go and run at a primary school field. And then when they are done, they will sit down and eat and drink and play drums and dance and come back to the house.
Well, the impression of that still happens now.
Yes. Yeah. But I'll tell you where the difference is. And then if it was not that, then it was the guys at the stadium that were just doing sports.
Okay.
Or the bouncers at the local gym that either needed it for work or needed it to have stronger shoulders to hang guns. Or, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Or scale fences to steal from people and all.
Yeah.
So it was easy to look at it as a waste of time from, an angle where you really did not have the education of its importance.
Yeah.
Now, over time, the new set of guys that came into the picture were able to make us know the importance, I grew up in a medical house. My mom retired as deputy director of nursing services.
Oh.
My mom specializes in alternative medicine. So I grew up seeing my mom trying to shrink cancers with soursop and mixing herbs for diabetes and hypertension and low sperm count and all those stuff. Yeah, that's the kind of house I grew up in. And my mom was doing all this stuff for people, without the use of regular medicine. It was using garlics and the gingers and all those, stuff. When I was growing up, we never used to take tablets for cold.
Yeah.
Mom would just grate garlic and ginger and put honey into it, turn it into a syrup, and put it in spoons for us to take, and we'll be fine. So growing up in that space, I was very aware of the health part of fitness, I think, quite early, before I even started exercising. I was an active kid, by the way.
Yeah.
I played all sorts of sports. I danced in dance groups and all that before I tried going into the job market. So the new set of guys, when I now tried coming into fitness, I met the new set of guys, the Billy Blanks, that's the father of table, Mike Caprenko, the father of banded workouts.
Yeah.
You had Sean T. He had Insanity. Insanity had T25.
Yeah.
In fact, Insanity Asylum broke my waist. I was out for like 6 months. So Shanti came from a sports background into fitness.
Yeah.
So his style of training, so this was the era where high intensity interval training just was becoming popular. Before then, it was just regular aerobics.
Yeah.
It was just regular aerobics and then hypertrophy, where everybody wanted to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So the idea of weighted training was not really popular, So I think I learned from those guys I just mentioned, because they were the guys that were able to match health to fitness in a way that made sense. And a lot of things that brought a lot of guys into fitness was the sexual enhancement that comes with working out. All right. So that was the attraction for men then.
So fitness, so you're saying just a bit, fitness, from traditionally, fitness only mostly attracted sexual underperformers.
So I don't think it's a problem of underperforming. I think it's where people just wanna always see how they can go a step ahead of whatever the game is.
So it's about personal
improvement. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then for the ladies, it was now aesthetics. All right. It was the first thing that attracted the ladies, when they knew that they could build their glutes, they could build their hamstrings, their thighs, they can reduce their waistline and everything. So it was attractive to know that, okay, I can go through this route if it makes me look better.
Yeah.
For the men, it was, I can go through this route if it would make me feel and perform better. So those were like the first level attraction. And then when they started coming in, there were other revelations within the field. It was not just about performance. It was also about mood. It was also about mindset. It was also about reset, and then about community.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the ladies also, the same thing. It was not just about aesthetics anymore. It was also about mindset. It was about stress relief, for the women. It was about confidence, for them initially it would have been, okay, let me just see if I look better. But looking better comes with better confidence. So, the books just kept opening up to a point where we're at the stage where exercise can now be prescribed as medicine to certain chronic diseases.
So growing up in a household, like, I'm curious. We'll come back to why people get into fitness, because I need to explore what brought people in and what you have seen now as running a fitness company and multiple fitness communities. So growing up in a country like this, we came up in a very herbal country. Yeah, I remember I used to get a lot of enema, the one they'll pop in your butt. Where your mother would feel.
My auntie used to do that.
They used to do that a lot growing up. It's
today it's still one of the most effective way of
gastric cleansing.
Yes.
I went through that a lot. Wasn't the funnest thing because you felt violated. You felt violated. Oh no!
Oh my god!
Like someone. Oh no!
You pump. They say when it's full. It's full last week. You say run and go and pull.
No. So, and your house specifically was. A hub for that, if I can say that.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say that?
Yes.
So when you left home and you got into the wider world, how did the learnings from your childhood clash with what the orthodox understanding of fitness and medicine? Because everything is a pill.
So it was quite interesting, funny at the same time, because there were things I knew. And when I entered the gym, so let me tell you how my life, I was an active kid, like I said. Mm-hmm. When I got into the job market, I didn't have the time to work out as often. I had never gotten into the conventional gym until I think I was about 23.
Yeah,
I'd never got into the conventional gym till I was about, I think 22, between 20 and 22. So I started, but I used to go to jog. I would jog, come back, I'll do my push-up. Oh, I was a push-up king. I used to do like 500 push-ups every morning.
Wow.
Yeah, before I go to school and all those stuff. I knew nothing about training legs. So, and then my job took a toll on my health. I became fat.
Yeah, you were working on the ship.
Yeah, okay. I was working on a vessel, a floating factory. It was a cement factory, but it was floating.
A cement factory
that was a ship.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you guys just sailed around international waters?
So the ship was stationed at the Port Harcourt port, but then we would bring the raw material in another ship and pump it into the factory ship. So, but we'll do the mixing inside the ship, and then we'll dispense it in the bags, and then we'll come into the market.
Were you the mixer?
No. I started off as a tallying clerk, and then I became a supervisor.
What's a tallying clerk?
So you just record the inventory of trucks that leave, but then I don't know if my promotion was because my boss didn't like me in the office or he thought I needed a promotion. But I think at 21, I was a supervisor. I had about 76 people working under me.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I was now working on the ship. So it means that I was in charge of the tallying clerks, the drivers, the baggers. So the guys that are in the pit that bag the cement, I was also in charge of the engineers, because I needed them to always regulate the machines to ensure that 50 kg was coming out of the nozzle all the time, because based on air pressure and other circumstances, you might have one bag higher than the other. So if the air pressure is reduced, you have a smaller bag coming out.
Yeah.
If the air pressure is really high, you have a bigger bag coming out. So you don't want to have 52 kgs and then have 48 kgs. So at intervals, you need to ensure that the engineers are there to keep checking, that everything is fine.
Meant it was quality control.
Yeah.
Then how did that impact your health?
In the craziest ways, because that was a very hazardous environment, and the Nigerian system, safety is usually a problem.
Yeah.
And it was one of the reasons why when I lost that job, I wasn't even in a hurry to get back into the job market. I needed to save my health.
Because you've seen Shege.
Yeah, because and the chemicals of cement bad. If you walk anywhere near cement, you guys fast marry, get children, because it's straight to your reproductive health.
No way.
Yeah. So when I left the job, I just focused more on my health. That's when I signed up at the gym proper, when I went back to my hometown. And when I said 6 months, in 6 months I moved from a fat kid to a kid that had 6 packs. Because there was a part of me that didn't have a job anymore. Yeah. And being someone that was like the breadwinner with no job, and still chesting bills from your savings and all, I I didn't enjoy staying at home. So I wake up around 4 a.m. I'll go jogging at the stadium for like 2 hours. And then
this was in Uyo.
Uyo. And I'll jog from the stadium to the gym. I'll train at the gym from like 7:30 when I get to the gym till about 10:30. And then when I'm done training at the gym at 10:30, I'll go and swim because the hotel where the gym had a swimming pool. I'll swim from like 10:30 till like 12 or 12:30 before I go home for my first meal. And then when I have that meal, I'll nap, wake up. By 4, I'm back at the gym. And then after training, I'll just chill at the gym. Maybe read a bit till like 10 p.m. because I also wanted to get back into my bed. I wasn't interested in having conversations and all those stuff. So I feel that is where I actually built my endurance from over time. So now when I work out at the gym, people are looking at me like, this boy, what's going on?
Yeah, but at the gym you go hard.
Yeah.
You go really hard.
Guess what?
There was one day I was staring, I was looking at your workout. You were on the Smith machine. It was a Bulgarian split.
Yeah.
But you were on the Smith machine. The weights were too heavy, and you just kept going down. I'm like, Jesus, this is like.
I guess what I do nothing now compared to what I used to do then. Now, so let me digress a bit, but I'll come back to. So I used the gym for like 6 months, 6 to 8 months, and then because I got into the gym using a promo.
Yeah.
So when that promo time elapsed, I went back to jogging at the stadium. Something happened 2 weeks after. The owner of the hotel called me and said, people were just asking about me. Where have you been? I said, my promo don't end now. I don't fit afford the real gym fee.
Yeah.
So he said people missed me around. They thought I was helpful when I was around and that he wanted to give me a deal. So the deal was we already have a coach so we can employ you. But we can allow you work out for free here. In return, you keep assisting people at the gym.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was my first. I'm like, okay, I take it. So, but then I knew that there was responsibility attached to that. That was when I started reading about fitness and everything. I started looking for certification because there was nothing in Nigeria, of course. And I also saw something on, I think, Udemy.
Yeah, Udemy, yeah.
Then,
yeah. And Udemy is still here. People use it now mostly for tech. But it's still there.
And then I think Allison,
I did Allison. I did that. I have Allison's certification.
So I think it was Allison first, and then I did. That was the first time I did my fitness trainer certification course on Allison. It was free. It was when you write the exams, you pass. But when you want to take your certificate,
then you have
I paid 3,000 naira for my certificate, and and sent it to me. So because I knew, coming from medical background, I knew that. Some days somebody will say, "Oh, are you the one training my husband? Are you the one training my wife? What do you have to show that you can actually train my wife or my husband?" And I knew I was ready for that. So after about 2 months or 3 months, the guy calls me again to say, "Everybody is speaking good about you. So I'll be giving you 5K every weekend to just help with your transportation because I can't employ you. I already have a coach." And I said, "See, Organo, they complain. I'm not complaining. Bring the 5K, from there."
So now you were just working out, something you enjoy.
Yeah, I loved it. Sometimes I don't even want to go home. Whenever the gym is cleaned out, I'll just take the mat, just find a space in between 2 machines and just lie down and just nap. I'll just wake up.
Back to training.
And there was this lady at the gym. This is the interesting part.
Yeah.
The lady says, so she was about leaving. She says, "This will be my last day at the gym for a while." I'm like, "Why?" He said she was on maternity leave. But can I come to the house and train her? I said, "Do you have a gym in your home?" She said, "No. I mean, like the classes we do here." I said, yeah, I can. Why not? He said, "How much do you charge?" I said, "Can I get back to you?"
Of course.
And she says yes.
Because you didn't have a framework.
No way. And then I tried, asking around. Nobody had. I asked the coach at the gym, "How much do they pay you monthly?" The coach at the gym was earning 20K monthly. I said, if a whole coach at the gym is earning 20K monthly, that means me and he's training everybody at the gym.
Yeah.
That means me that I'm going to train only one person in the house. It's like maybe 5K or 7K that the lady would want to pay.
Yeah.
So I said, "You know what? This is what we're going to do. I would train you for for a month. At the end of the month, if you like your results, you pay me what you think I'm due. She said, okay, that was good with her. So after the first month, she said, send your account number, and she sent me 20,000.
So she set your price.
Yeah, she set my price. But the next month was more interesting. She called me that her friend wanted to join in. Her friend was happy with her results. But she told the friend that I charged 30,000. So when the friend calls, I should tell the friend 30,000. I was coming in and said, hello.
Okay.
Yes, it's me. Yeah. I charged 30,000 a month for
your mouth did not shake.
It sounded so good. And she said, yeah, she told me, send your account number. In 4 months, I had 3 of her friends paying 30,000. So she had to increase her rate to 30,000. So I was earning 120,000.
From your promo code. From your promo gym code.
Whenever I step into the lounges, please bring a bottle of Andre. It was 5,500 then.
Yeah.
I think Hennessy was about 7,000 or 6,500.
Yeah, we still had value. Bro,
I was a big boy.
What the time span between you starting at the gym and when you became a big boy, how long did that take?
About 7 years. What big boy? What big boy?
So when you started making this 120? Oh, between when you started with the promo code and when you started
No, in less than a year.
So in a year, you went from this fat kid,
in 6 months, I had my body. Before the end of December, before December that year, I already had 4 people that I was assisting training at their homes. And there's a good and a bad side to it, and I'm coming. Okay. I'm sure as we keep unfolding in the conversation, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
You know, it was different with me because coming from a medical background, I really cared about quality control and handling people. Because clients in Nigeria, up until recent time, really don't know what they want from trainers. They can't say who's a good trainer or not. They just think anybody that is at the gym, that has a buffed body, that knows how to use some equipment, they just walk up to them and say, are you a trainer? Can you train me? And people's lives have been ruined by that action. So while I also was, a product of such a naive system, it was different for me because I had equipped myself with the basic knowledge to actually care for people. All right. So in another so that's back to, like I said, I'm sure we'll touch more on that in recent time.
Because I have the responsibility of being a trainer here. I've written it down.
Yeah, so
because you mentioned it, so I want to know what that is.
So and then that was how it was. And in about 2 years after then, in about 2 years plus, I still tried to know more. I moved to another gym, and guess what? I've never worked for any gym in my entire life being a trainer. Oh. I've always had deals. I'll go to gyms and say, I have clients, I can bring them to you. Just give me free access to your gym. So I think it taught me how to attract and retain clients. So if you notice, if you come to my gym today, the clients that have been with me for 7-8 years.
I know someone who says she's been with you, she's known you for 10 years and she's been working with you for 10 years.
Yeah. I still have clients that work 10, 8, 9 years. They've worked with me. I still have clients from my hometown when I started 12 years ago that whenever they are in Lagos, I have clients that say, I still work out. I still have a coach, but I've never met a coach like you. And when they say that, I really don't think it's in the knowledge of the job. It's in the emotional intelligence that the job requires.
So that emotional intelligence, what does being a trainer, what emotional intelligence goes into training? Because in my head, when you think of having a trainer, it's someone who puts you through the motions and makes sure you work the muscles, you do the entire thing. Where does emotional intelligence comes in? I tried to train my lady the other day. She yelled at me. And I'm like, because I said your form is wrong, instead of saying, hey, let me fix your form for you. And I'm like, I can't do this job.
Right. So if your client yells, it's a blessing.
I didn't feel blessed.
Because the client that tries not to yell, maybe because they don't want to hurt you, ends up hurting themselves.
Oh.
So it was good that she screamed at that point, when she says, I didn't come into the gym to do wrong form.
Mm-hmm.
If I walk into that door, it's because I want to do something right.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be my trainer, you need to know that if I knew, I wouldn't be here. All right?
Yeah.
So it's at that place where you need to know that your job goes beyond reps and sets. It's about response and resistance. All right? How do we teach the body to respond to problems? And how do we teach the body to resist when they need to? That's the essence of training. It's more about mental muscle than physical muscle, right? Because even when you're training, the mind gets tired first before the muscle. The body gives up, the mind gives up first before the muscle. So as a trainer, you need to be able to train the minds of your clients. And there's a typical training method I use. I call it move, train, play. So for every movement, because exercise is movement based, there are 7 fundamental movements that when you put them together, you can build any exercise on it. We have push, press, push 1, press 2. We have lunge, 3. We have squat, 4. We have hinge, 5. We have rotate, 6. And then we have locomote, 7.
Locomote sounds so cool.
Yeah.
I'm locomoting.
So all exercises in this world are built around 7 those fundamental movements. So when you decide to put a client through a workout, first you need to ensure that they are moving right. All right?
Yeah.
There's moving well and there's moving right. You need to ensure that they're moving right. Now, how do you ensure they're moving right? You need to let them to be aware of where they're going to feel the tension if the movement is right. Or if they feel the tension this way, it means the movement is not right. So people just show the movement and then that's it. So sometimes the clients get it right, fluke, out of pure luck. But they don't know when they are out of the right form because they don't know what muscle engages most when it's right. Because if you know that, when that muscle don't engage anymore, you know that you're out of form. So when the client moves right, the next thing you get the client to train. That's where repetition comes, where you now tell the client, do it 3 or 5 times. Now, when the client does it 3 or 5 times, that's now training. After the client have mastered movement. Then from training, you get into playing. Now, what is playing? Your ability to now, combine that movement with another movement, or get the client to do that movement in a different way. So there's normal static squats, but they are jump squats. There are jump squats into twist. They are jump cross squats. At that point you're playing. Yeah.
And so when you, still on this, the responsibility of being a trainer.
Yeah.
If you say, okay, when someone comes to you and says, hey, I want you to train me, what are they really telling you?
I want you to make me a better version of myself.
So that in that sense, they're surrendering their health to you.
Entirety. Their
both
confidence,
mental health, their confidence.
Everything. Everything. Because when you work with a lot of clients, personal training is a very intimate responsibility, right? It takes you into a space in the heart and mind of your client that is very close to where their confidence reside.
Yeah.
Right? And vice versa. It also puts the pressure where you need to always think that you need to always keep it right.
Yep.
For the client to function properly.
Yeah.
So when a client comes to you and says, the client might just say, I want to build my glutes. But you know that at the end of the day, you're delivering more than just glute building. Because when you set a time for the client to come to the gym, When the client comes in, you set the time that the client has to be at work. The client has to be at workout at that time.
Yeah.
You try to ensure the client is there at that time. You have clients that don't keep to time in the beginning, but you realize by the time you get to the second and third one, they start keeping to their time. You've taught that client discipline and accountability. You tell the client, for every session you miss is a forfeited session. For every session I miss, I give you. All right? That's our accountability. So for every session that client forfeits without taking permission, that client knows. All right? You tell the client, for this week, we are doing this, we're doing maybe a 1 day water fast. We're teaching you how to, control food and everything, For everything you're doing to try to give the client a good glut, you are opening that client to a greater awareness of self. You tell the client, whatever you're doing, try to get into bed by 9 a.m. because we need 6 to 7 hours sleep for the next day. This was a client that used to sleep by 2 a.m., 3 a.m. when a client didn't have purpose, when that client didn't understand how the importance of sleep can impact their health. So now, from just trying to build glut, you have pointed that client in the direction where they've come into the discovery of what having enough sleep, how it can impact their health. Now, that might not have directly affect the growth of the glut, but it affects their general well-being. All right? So as a coach, and, the most interesting part is we have like 4 different personalities. You have your own real personality, but there are other 3 other personalities, and you need to know when to switch in those personalities depending on the client you're dealing with. You might be an outright strict person, but being an outright strict person won't work for all clients. No, you can't. Sometimes some clients need you to become an educator. They need to understand. Don't tell me go. Why do I have to go?
Yeah, that's me.
And you need to explain.
I have to know why you want me to do this.
Some clients are always low on motivation, so you have to be the loyal trainer where you say, I know what you're going through. I know how you feel. If you want to take an extra minute, I'll give you. All right? But I know you got this. You have to be that guy. And then some other people, they don't like boring session. They want to gist. They want to laugh. You have to be the clown.
Yeah.
Because it does something to them mentally. That's why they always want to be at the gym. So at the end of the day, it takes us to a question I know you want to ask later.
Yeah.
In recent time, health and aesthetics is not number 1 and number 2 on the list anymore while people go to the gym. People go to the gym for community. Yeah. People go to the gym for networking. And then the rest.
Because I one of the reasons why I stayed at your gym, I think the first time I came to, it was Fitness Central before. First time I came there, it was because Young John's manager, Isioma, she dragged me down there. I'm like, I see her all the time. I'm like, I want to be like you. And like, come join me. And then she started. So one of the reasons why I came to your gym, because of course it's your gym. One of the things that has made me stay and makes me want to come back often is how much it's so community focused.
Yeah. Deliberate. It was deliberate.
It was?
Yeah.
Why is community so important in this process?
I might not know why before COVID, but after COVID, the trajectory of the entire fitness industry changed. People now needed people to give them a reason to step out. All right?
Okay.
So I want to work out, but is there something out there that I should be scared of? Okay, Joey, I want to work out. Do you feel like working out? Oh yeah, let's go out together. So I work with a brand that is very futuristic. I'm their master trainer.
Yeah.
The only master trainer in East and West Africa, actually.
Techno Gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Techno Gym is a very futuristic brand. So during COVID, Techno Gym already knew that the future of fitness was going to be built around communities. And they started building equipments in formats. They call them formats. So they don't just build.
What does that mean?
They don't just build one equipment. They build a set of equipment that work together.
Oh.
In a way of trying to encourage communal workout. and their formats were the biggest sellers up until today. And that was when I also started my Tabata class. After COVID, I started Tabata, bringing people together, and it worked. I remember when I started Tabata at Bodyline, we were about 25 to 30 persons, and people kept sending me this video of one guy that was doing a step ball class in America that had this big class of like 80 to 100 people. I'm like, you guys just wait for me. I'm limited by space. This is bullshit. And that's why when I was telling them the dream of pure fitness, the moment I walked into that space where we have the outdoor class,
it was the car park.
Was a waterlogged car park.
Yeah, so that's why I used to park my car there.
So I had to fill it up, before creating that outdoor space. And I remember that I and my partner, we had a lot of arguments on how much we're just going to spend in erecting an outdoor space. And I told him, because I have a plan. When I wanted to buy my step boards, I said I want to buy 100 step boards. He said, what do you need 100? How many people? Okay, tell me on an average. Okay, now we know the classes on an average. How many people come to class? Then an average number of people that used to come to the class at the previous system was about 15 to 18 people. And he says, okay, even if you want to do magic, 50 people, what do you need 100 step boards for? I told him, I have a plan. 4 months after we launched Tabata, we filled up the step boards. Now we have about 120 to 150 people. We're trying to order 400 more step boards.
And it's never enough.
And it's never enough. Come rain, come sun.
Yeah, it's never
an event every Thursday.
Yep.
And I
look forward to it.
Yeah, I've always been someone who knew that when it comes to fitness, one person, you can barely get it right by yourself. And that's why even as a coach, I need a workout buddy to push me to get the best out of my session. And that's why if you need a friend that gets you to move out of your comfort zone. Some people need trainers to do that for them. So if you need one person to be able to push you, imagine what you'll do if you had 10 people.
Yeah.
That's the idea of the community. And then with community, you don't do a lot of marketing because the community markets itself
and grows itself.
So you just create an opportunity, a space where people feel safe to come in. And what we have in our space is unique. Nobody feels too high, nobody feels too low. Whenever you come into our space, we're all leveled up. And nobody takes advantage of that leveling up. We're just really good, high spirit. And because I also, as part of my ideology, right, you cannot expect love from someone if you've actually not taught someone how to love. You can't assume people know how to love.
True.
So if you're ever going to go into someone's life, you need to go in ready to teach the person what love to you is.
Okay.
All right.
I get that. So community, a cool thing about your community is you do a lot of training with celebrities. Yeah, I remember the next person on this table that will come to this studio is Tope Olowoniyan.
One of our magic.
Yeah, you train all the time. I'm like
one of our magic.
Yeah. She told me like you. Of course, you guys are friends
during lockdown. That's when we started virtually.
Yeah, and then you trained her through.
Big, really big, and she's amazing now.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. So. I've also seen you train a ton of other people. Recently, we had Anthony Joshua walking up and down the gym.
Yeah.
We've had Victor Boniface.
Yeah. Wilfred Ndidi was here.
Wilfred Ndidi was there today.
Yeah, Osimhen has been there.
Yeah. And I'm wondering how having training celebrities, how does that work? Because you're dealing with egos. You're dealing with the drama of celebrity. You also have to deal with all of the distractions that come with that, because people want to take pictures, people want to hang around, people like they are magnets by virtue of their status and in existence. And I'm wondering how does it impact community, and two, how do you train celebrities? You trained Hilda Bassi also for her Guinness campaign.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How is it different from training a regular person?
I am more excited about performance training. What I mean by performance training, performance targeted training. I mean, I tell people weight loss is the easiest thing ever. Just close your mouth. close your mouth.
And you lose weight.
But when it comes to targeted training, I'm excited. But I love the challenge that comes with targeted training. But
what's targeted training?
So, for example, I've always had this ideology. So for me, I think fitness is not a hustle. To me, fitness is a gift. Yeah, I tell people I didn't find fitness found me.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that, just build up in my head that I don't know where they come from, but they just make sense. So I've always believed that a fitter actor, a fitter celebrity would be way better on the craft than a sedentary one.
Yep.
Even before training my first celebrity.
Why have you held that belief?
Like I said, these things pop up in my head, and just first from nowhere, and then I try looking around, and I see. So whenever I think about this thing, I try to read up stuff, and I realize that, sometimes like when I see when us shoot action movies, then it used to be very funny because you see that these guys are the acting was just weird, and I'm like, why don't these actors just try to, work out, train? You see someone that is meant to be like a ripped guy, and you can see that all through the scene he's trying to, suck in that tummy. And I'm like, why don't you just try to look good? And then Tyler Perry, just when I was thinking about it, Tyler Perry just comes and shows us that yes, you can have like ripped guys, good actors, interpret the role of that pretty boy role properly. And then you can have also, and I started reading up documentaries of actors that have had to, go into a certain kind of training to be in a certain shape for a role. I'm like, this can never happen in Nigeria. But before I ever trained my first celeb, I already knew that they needed it. So in my mind, I was already prepared for them. And there's this thing, everybody talks about law of attraction. I was already prepared for it. So when my first celebrity client came through, I knew we had a conversation. She told me what her goals were. I told her, I got you. And if you know what you're doing with that market and you understand that you are only but a craftsman, right? I tell people that I don't consider myself the best coach out there. If you want to see good coaches, go to the stadium. All right? I'm not even interested in being the best. What I'm interested in is that everybody that passes through me achieve the best version of themselves. So I see myself as a craftsman. I don't want to be called a celebrity trainer because that's not what I am. I train celebrities. I'm not a celebrity trainer. I just want my work to show through you, and I walk away because that's what I want, impact, right? So it was easy for me to be able to work with them. First off, try to see if I can solve that problem that been lingering in my head to say, you know what, can we create Nigeria's first set of fit celebrities and actors and all? So for me, that was the goal.
Fit entertainers, fit creatives.
I did a workshop at Entertainment Week Lagos, one of the one before the last one, the first edition.
Yeah.
I did a workshop for them there, and I have it was called Fit to Entertain. It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
It was just targeted to entertainers, why they need to get fit, what they need to do to get fit, how they can achieve it, how it works for them. I even went on to dig to research on the numbers of entertainers that have died as a result of chronic diseases. I'm sure some of them you still can remember their names.
Yeah.
From sleep, from not having enough sleep, to alcohol consumption, to eating set food that you don't know how it's made because they're just trying to save money and all this stuff. The one thing that can really, really help you, while you're trying to still make your way in that industry is exercise.
Yeah.
All right. Fitness and all. So I knew this thing. So when I had my first set of entertainers, for me, it wasn't even about the money with them. I just wanted to see if I could work that out. And it's just like my first athlete. Odion Igalo was my first ever athlete.
Yeah.
And guess what? I got into his DM. People don't know about that. I'm never afraid to knock on doors.
Yeah.
With Anthony Joshua, I got into his DM. I said, I heard you're in Lagos. I have a beautiful space. You should come look at it. Because people might not really, really know what you're capable of doing until they see you do it.
Yeah.
First day I went to Igalo's house, he just showed me around his house. I say, we go train today. They laugh because he didn't really believe that I could train him as an athlete. And then the second day, we played soccer together and he asked me to stretch him. And I stretched him and that was it. From there, I started training him and he just opened the door, to the athlete market for me. And from him, I think I've trained more than 20 international athletes till date.
So what's the difference between training a footballer and training a boxer? What are the specifics that are different for them?
So, it's not just about how you train them. It's also about when you train them.
Okay.
There's pre-season training.
Yeah.
There is in-season training. There is off-season training. So you need to understand the kinds of training they need in all the season. It's almost like the same kind of thing. You need to know what the boxer needs when he's just trying to stay fit. You need to know what they need when they are trying to prep for a fight. You need to know what they need when they are preparing for a fight. Same thing with the footballer. You need to know what you need to train them on when they are pre-season. They're trying to get into a new season.
Yeah.
You need to know how to train them when they are already in a
mid-season.
And they need to know, like now they are on a recovery phase.
Yeah.
You need to know how to train them. So it's basically knowing the core. And without saying too many things, they're mostly about conditioning, cardio, cardiovascular, cardiorespiratory, speed and agility, athletic assessment, performance. You need, and then bulletproofing. You need to bulletproof their joint. Mobility is also very key for them. You need to get them to be very mobile and strong at the same time.
And for acting, you need to get their body right.
Get their body right. You need to get their, of course, cardiovascular, cardiorespiratory, right. You need to get their muscles right. Some of them stand for long hours shooting and retaking. You need to work on their glute muscles. So sometimes when they say work on your glute, it's not because of the size of the yards that you want to build.
Yeah.
It's because the glute is responsible for you standing or collapsing. That's the largest muscle in the body. Glute muscle.
Right? Yes. Is your largest muscle in your body?
Yeah.
Huh. But if other people with flat asses, is this still the largest?
Yes, for that particular body.
Oh, okay. And so for Hilda Bassi, for a project like Hilda Bassi, this is someone that cooks. How did you design a training for someone who cooks? What were you targeting for that?
Glute, back, stability. She already knows how to cook.
Okay.
She already enjoys cooking. And sometimes when you enjoy something, you don't feel the stress that comes with it. All right? It's not a marathon, so she does not have to. So, but then you still need to train cardio for stamina.
Yeah.
All right? To reduce exhaustion. But most importantly, for a project like the Guinness record, she was going to be standing for a very long time.
Yeah.
So you know that after a while, the legs will start becoming numb. The lower back will start becoming very stiff and painful. And if you don't know, you go and massage it to relax, and then it will collapse, and she will lie down, she will stand up again.
So we'll not get our record.
We'll not get our record. So what you want to do is, train her cardiovascular, train cardiorespiratory, train muscular strengths, stamina rather. Stamina is different from power. Train power, train strength, and then just, align, get posture good. Because sometimes we get into where injured mostly when we have ruined our posture over time without knowing. And then the body now stays more in a very uncomfortable place. So it just keeps falling into that uncomfortable state until it now becomes a problem. So all we needed to do was just focus on the problem area more, because we didn't even have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Just touch a bit on the problem area and just ensure, and then pray to God that it helps us get her there, and He did.
But being a craftsman that trains celebrities, how does that impact business? How does that impact entrepreneurial goals? When you train them, do you see like a growth spurt in all the metrics you design for yourself as a businessman, or it's just flat lines? What do you see happen for you since you started working with celebrities? Does that impact your bottom line?
Greatly.
In what way?
Publicity.
So it's very marketing.
Yeah. Very. I mean, some people just want to come. You know, the Nigerian market is up to today.
Yeah.
Moves faster from a place of referral.
Yeah.
An average Nigerian will not go on the internet to say, you know what, I'm looking for the best this and that.
Because we're a low trust society.
Yeah, they're waiting for someone's reel to see that furniture, and then they forward the reel to save it somewhere so that when they want to buy furniture, they just go back to that reel and get the furniture. They don't want to walk, go to Aja and go and stroll and look for the best carpenter, right? So when you have a celebrity market, it's like a funnel. And people like, okay, if this high profile person can trust this guy, I can trust him. And that's it.
Okay. And then this thing found you built community. How do you move, especially fitness, how do you move community? How did you move community to a full-fledged business? Because doing the research for this conversation, I spoke to a number of trainers who were this, and I asked them this question, because for you run a business, and it's a big business. It continues to grow. 2 locations now, and I know there's a third one coming.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Third and fourth.
Third and fourth. Beautiful. Congrats. Congrats. That's beast mode.
Yeah.
How do you then move community into creating these spaces? And also, how do you know as a trainer when it's time to move from one level to the other? Because you're training at home, but now you were training at home, and then you started taking your clients, you started building your clients, going to their homes, and then all of a sudden, or after a while, you created your space, and now you're growing that space. What's the anchor there that makes it all come together? That's change.
The word is in the community. When you provide solution, and the solution we're providing with Pure Fitness Africa, it's not just your conventional gym.
Yeah, it's not.
Nah. It's a space where fitness is not just motivation, but a movement. Where some people come there and they've never been on the treadmill for a day, but they found something that completes them in that space. So when you create solution, you house people. And when that solution is constantly refreshed, just like you said, when do I know when to blow out? You feel it. If you're someone that constantly want to keep advancing, when it's just like the Tabata class. Have you ever had a dull Tabata class?
Never.
Because I think
even when you're not there.
Yeah, I think about the class for the entire week. I know they see the class finish. So my clients know if you see the class finish. I think about each class. Each class feels like an event to me. And I know that I have to go there, I have to kill it, and I have to bring it home. And it's the same mindset. So I have a space where anybody can walk up to me and tell me, this thing is not going well, and I say, I'll fix it, and I try to fix it. I don't operate a space where the CEO just sits in one office and say, no, talk to my manager. No, I'm on the floor. So when you tell me an equipment is bad, I can see that the equipment is bad. I'll tell you, I miss the equipment too. And when I'm there and I say, no, we both, when I use it, you use it, it's bad, I'm going to replace it because I use it too. It's easier for you to believe that I use it because you see that I replace it because you see that I use it. So that presence also helps, that being present in your community, trying to meet the needs of people and just creating an avenue where people know that there's no pressure to try to go on this journey. It's a movement. When there's a movement, there's no stopping. When it's motivation, that motivation drops sometimes. But when it's movement and the movement is performance-based, there's no stopping. I'm sure sometimes you come in and you can't even find equipment to use.
Yeah.
So we need another branch now so we can remove some people from there.
Definitely. We've done this for, let me bring this home. But just before I bring this home, so the other part of fitness that has grown with time is we have seen people who have gone through cosmetic surgeries, surgeries that alter how they look to build their confidence. Yeah. And then they have to pair it with exercise. In that sort of scenario, how do you approach that?
They pair it with exercise.
Yeah, by pairing it with exercise. If you're going to train someone who needs that sort of service, how would you approach that?
So, let's not assume, all right?
Okay, rather, because you do it.
Certain people, there are certain situations where people need surgery. There are certain people that, don't need it. They just, I can't say they don't need it because I'm not the one in that body, all right? Some think they need it. Some is peer pressure, whatever. But you see, pairing it with workout is like the prodigal son returning home. And you have to have your hands wide open to receive them, and help them stir the pot. So let me explain. Sometimes I see people make posts and people go and comment. They say, oh, this one, they will go do surgery finish, they will come go gym, go deceive them. I say, make a kukuma sit down for house. Where's that my camera? Public service announcement. You see that auntie that you are shaming that she went to do surgery and is back at the gym. 6 months, 1 year after, he is way better than you that is not moving. Because a person that is smoking and working out would live longer than the guy that is not smoking and is not working out. So, if I'm not saying you should do surgery because it has its,
it's complications.
It's complications. It's just like people that go the route of fast weight loss with all the injectables and all those things that, come back in the future to haunt them.
Sure.
I would never recommend that. But if you do that and you come back to religiously, all right, and you come back seeking for forgiveness on the altar of exercise and fitness, almost all sins might be forgiven.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is now stay on the new path, which is the path of exercise, and then you see it's easier from there. Maybe that's what you wanted. But if you stay in there for long, trust me, you're better than the person sitting down in the house and judging you.
Okay, just thank you for doing this. But just before you go, this has been, I've had so much fun. It has been so much fun. The key word that everyone screams now is calorific deficit. Caloric deficit. Caloric deficit. You go into caloric deficit and your things, everything goes well. What I have seen personally in my journey, because I used to be a very big person. Remember now? Yeah. I used to be a very big person. And then I ran it all off. All of it. Long distance marathons. I turned into a crazy runner and cut it all off. Why I came to the gym was because running, I didn't need to, I've never dieted, ever. I eat what I eat. I don't eat a lot, but I eat what I eat. If I see a burger now and I want to eat a burger, I want to be able to eat it. I'm not eat it every day, but I want to eat a burger when I want to. And for Nigeria specifically, most of what they tell us on the internet, it's mostly designed for foreign foods. Yeah, mostly. For Nigeria specifically, everyone has different way. There are multiple diets. You have the keto diet. I didn't like that one. I tried it. It sucked. It sucked heavily. I don't want. I tried the fruit diet, not so much, because eventually you get tired. I did intermittent fasting. That helped me a lot, actually. I saw a ton of results while running. I paired it with intermittent fasting, and I just melted. Within a year, I melted everything off.
Yeah.
And so for you, how do you approach diet? And why is that? What's the best way to approach diets? That's the question here.
So, I believe in balance. Life is all about balance. I'm a believer, and most of my principles are from the scripture. And if you look at, just recently I was sharing with the guys at my team that I stumbled on the recipe God gave to Ezekiel in the Bible when he was going on the fast.
Yeah.
And the recipe for the bread that God gave to Ezekiel till today is the most balanced recipe for a bread, for a survival meal. Isn't that crazy? Till date, it means that the bread recipe had all the 9 essential aminos today, like today's nutritional count. So it means that there's a place of carbs in your life. There's a place of fruit in your life. There's a place of protein in your life. There's a place of fat in your life. So I tell people, you need to understand the difference with someone who has been in a very bad place when it comes to health, and they have to restrict certain things for the time being to get out of that bad place and now go into proper dieting. But no be you will say you nothing do, you not just fat out of carelessness and all, and you start restricting and restricting and restricting. This is simple. What you eat, how you eat. What you eat, when you eat, and how you eat. What you eat, make sure you eat balanced. How you eat, try to eat slow. When you eat, try not to eat late. Because if you tell me that our food is the problem, and you now build a diet plan around foreign food, who foreign? You don't build it around Chinese meals.
No.
Because Chinese eat a lot of rice.
True.
And if rice is the problem, why are they not fat? You don't build it around Italian cuisine, because Italians eat a lot of bread, a lot of pasta.
Yeah.
And typically Italian is not fat. So the problem is not the bread. The problem is their kind of bread and our kind of bread. I don't know a lot about culinary schools, but I don't think they teach American cuisine anywhere. And our food is largely influenced by the mess those guys eat. What happened to our food? Our plantain, our yam. They tell us it's high in carbs. Bullshit. What you eat, fresh food, whole food, how you eat. Eat slow, eat timely, eat little quantity.
Yeah.
When you eat, don't eat too late. Don't eat too much. Because food is medicine. Yeah. So if you now go by the ideology of food as medicine, do you take the wrong drug? No. So why are you now licking ice cream and eating a burger? So let me go to you now. When you know that what your body really needs is that rice and beans, whole food, proper food.
Well, that burger slaps though.
Yeah, but then it's like someone eating. Then I used to have clients that said, I've not eaten any food today. I just ate only granite and banana. And they've eaten one full bottle of banana and one full bottle of granite and one full bunch of banana. And they say, I didn't eat food. And they just eat the pounded yam and white soup. At least there's protein in the white soup. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't cheat sometimes, but understand the importance of whole food, eating proper food. cooked with the right herbs. Because if you look at, for example, if an Italian is making pizza, pasta, whatever, you hear basil, you hear oregano, you hear rosemary, you hear all the herbs and spices that are either anti-inflammatory or this one, or help regulate blood sugar, and all. They have all those spices. What do we cook our pasta with? We cook white pasta and we do one oily stew and we pour it on the pasta and we dig in.
Yeah.
And you say, they say, don't eat pasta. Pasta is bad. No, pasta is not, but how you cook it is the problem. So we need to go back, keep our local food, use our local herbs and spices. Let's go back. I keep telling my people, my guys, because I talk a lot with my trainers, my team. We used to have we have a lot of fire chat sessions. Whenever these things come to my mind, I share with them, and I have a beautiful minds at work. And I said, I feel like dietitians and the nutritionists in Nigeria, in Africa, are very lazy. The food scientists here, they're all very lazy, because teach us, show us how we can sustain with our meals, our natural food. Teach us how we can eat them right and achieve the best look.
Yeah, because
don't tell us to chew leaves all the time. Because right now, the highest rate of food poisoning comes from these vegetables that we don't know where they come from. Most of it are genetically modified, even the fruits. Before they tell you an apple a day keeps you away from the doctor. Now, if you don't take that apple is what takes you to the doctor, because the amount of sugar in these genetically modified fruits. When was the last time you had fruit from your village? It's the ones that they bring in cartons.
Yeah.
You don't know how many years they've been in the warehouses, because they need to put preservatives on them to stay fresh until they ship it to you to eat it. All right?
Yeah.
The day you eat strawberry from Jaws, you know that strawberry is nice.
Yeah, I did that the last time I was there.
Exactly. So, and I was in Abuja recently. I went with a friend. So a realtor wanted to show him a land to buy at a new settlement that Wike is trying to develop. And when I went in there, do you know what I saw? The entire space was a cashew plantation.
Whoa.
So an entire cashew plantation is about to be brought down and turned into
housing.
An entire plantation. And then we'll now start importing cashew from where we don't know. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I wish I probably have another session for dieting, because I have a lot of a lot of anger inside of me when it comes to our food, and we really need to get it right. So yeah, for people that are out there that want to know the right thing, see, remember that food is medicine. You don't overdose on medicine. So satisfaction is a state of mind. You can get satisfied with 5 spoons. But some of us, if we don't see made in Nigeria.
Not me.
So there's a difference between satisfaction and feeling full. You need to be able to differentiate both.
Okay.
You can be satisfied in the moment and you can eat 2-3 hours later. But we want to feel full. And when you overstuff the body, you slow down.
Yeah, because all of that system. Energy has to break down.
Eat in bits, except you can't afford and you just want to eat all at once, but you need to go run it out at the gym or whatever. You need to be very active. And these guys out there are also very active. You see them cycle, you see them go on walks. We don't have a very active life, right? That's why you need to at least try to exercise. And then the last part with dieting is sometimes stay off food for a while, you not die.
Yeah, fasting is good.
Yes, fasting helps the body to remember how to heal itself. Sometimes a day, 1.5 days, stay off food, just drink water. You feel the lightness into your joints.
Yeah.
You feel the freedom into your joints.
Yep.
So these 2 things, eat right, and then let your body breathe off food for a while, and you just be fine.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. So fitness found you. You have built a world out of it. You've built your personal world, and you've built a larger community, an entire world. And now, going into this point where you're not just, now you're a businessman, fitness is both life and business for you. What is the what is the anchor for all of this? What are you trying to get out of? What's the grand goal for you as a person, not even as a business, as a person? This is your life's work. What is the grand goal and what you keep for yourself?
I want to get the whole world moving. I just want to get the whole world moving and make a shit ton of money making the whole world move. I want to make kids move.
Yeah.
I want to make the elderly move. I want the market woman to market that's just local market woman selling pepper. I want to see her and I ask her, whenever you go to the market, do you know how long you walk? He said, that market where they go, before I come back, I don't do 10,000 steps. I want them to be able to know that. I want the world to move with purpose, and understand that exercise is the one medicine that can never change and make a lot of money doing that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for doing this. Thank you. This has been amazing, and thanks for being you're the first guest on the Joey Akan Experience ever. This is my first recording ever. This is the first time this studio is being used.
All right,
all of it. So thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
First time.
Yes.
Definitely not going to be my last.
No. You have to come back now. But we didn't explore diets. We didn't do all of that. So definitely, I'd love to talk to you again. The next season, definitely. I want you back.
Cool. So
thank you.
Thanks, brother. Hi guys, my name is Kemen Fitness, your preferred fitness coach in the building. Now, being slim is not synonymous to being fit, and being big is not synonymous to being healthy. Choose the body you want and be fit in it. And remember, you have all the problems in the world until you have a health problem, and then you realize you have just one problem. All right? I just wrapped up on the set of the Joey Akan Experience. You don't want to miss. Once again, my name is Kemen Fitness, and this is the Joey Akan Experience. You don't want to miss this.